Welcome back to N.Rajini Kiranmai YouTube channel. This video helps you why to use Python for data science question. So if you are struggling to know the answer, why is it that people use Python for data science? In which way it is beneficial for data science? Let us look to the answer to this question. So to know the answer for this question, first of all, let us know what is a Python. Python is a very popular general purpose language. General purpose in sense, this language can be used for all the purposes like creating or designing a compiler or designing an operating system or designing or creating any applications of different sort of applications like web based, or it can be bank oriented applications, or it can be a reservations, whatever type of applications you wanted to develop, that is possible by using Python. That is the reason why we call Python as a general purpose language, and it is also called as interpreted language. Why? Because uh, for Python language, we are going to use an interpreter to translate the Python code into a machine understandable form. And it allows the user to have an interaction during the execution. And that is the reason why we call Python as an interactive language even. And because the Python language supports all the concepts of object oriented, and Python is termed as object oriented language, and of course it is a high level programming language. Why? Because it is easily understandable by the user than the computer. And moving to the second point, Python is dynamically typed and garbage collected programming language. So you can interact with this language and you can dynamically use the types. Along with it, it has a capability to collect the garbage. That is the reason why we call a Python as a dynamically typed and garbage collected programming language. And this is the language created by Guido van Rossum in 1991. The basic reason for creating this language, like or we can say that the idea of this Python programming language was taken from the ABC programming language, or we can say in a simple sentence is that ABC is a predecessor of Python language. Now let me say about what is an ABC programming language. This is an imperative general purpose programming language, and it is an IDE, that is integrated development environment, specifically developed by Centrum Wiskunde and Informatica Netherlands, by three different persons, that is Leo, Lambert and Steven. It is interactive, structured, as well as a high level, and the basic purpose or intention of using this Python language is to be used instead of basic or Pascal languages, etc. It is intended for teaching or prototyping, but not a systems programming language. This is all about ABC language, and the idea of Python has been taken from this ABC programming language. Now, this is a brief history of Python. Now, let us move to the question, why Python for data science? Let us look what all the advantages or what all the characteristics that the Python language is going to have, which will be helpful for a data scientist. The first point is Python is easy to learn. Why it is easy to learn? Because it is similar, very similar to the standard English. That means it uses a simplified syntax with an emphasis on a natural language, and that is the reason why it is a much easier learning curve for the beginners. Not only this advantage, it also have an extremely large ecosystems of libraries and packages which are free to use and supports many packages and libraries which will be very easy for the user to utilize those things and come up with his task. Moving to the second point, Python is an active supportive community. This language have an active and supportive community. How you can say this? If you observe its existence, Python has been around for over 3 decades, and this period is more than enough for the users of this Python language to have a dedicated user community to grow up around it. And this community, Python community, includes developers of all skill levels and provides easy access to the documentation or guides or tutorials or many more. And at the same time, the Python community is extremely active even till today. So, if at all, if you wanted to know any concept in detail or any complex point to be known about this language, you can get it. Why? Because its community is extremely active, not in a passive state. Now, let us move to the next advantage of why we call this Python a very good language for data science. Third point is Python is very flexible. As we all know that when we were talking about Python initially, we said that it is a general purpose programming language. This means that unlike domain specific languages, which are designed only for that intended application purpose or certain application types, Python may be used to develop nearly any kind of application in any industry or in any field. The Python has been used to great effort in web developments, data analytics, machine learning, data science, data engineering, and even machine learning and artificial intelligence. That means Python is so flexible that we can use this language to develop any kind of application. Why? Because it's a general purpose programming language and it has tools available so that all these things can be utilized to develop any kind of application. And moving to the fourth characteristic of Python is Python offers versatile web development solutions. As I said earlier, the Python is not only meant for a specific task but also has a versatile web development solutions. Versatile means in many different types or many different forms, it has a capability to develop web applications. It's useful in web development and it is a worth specific recognition. Using available open source libraries, Python developers can get their web applications up and running quickly and easily. Moving to the fifth character, the Python is well suited to data science and analytics. Many of the factors that make Python an attractive choice for the beginners also set it apart as a reliable option for data science and data analysis. As I said earlier, even the beginners can learn these things, but not only just the beginners, but also this language is flexibly or reliably used by the data science and data analysis, or that means the data scientist or analyzer relies on the performance that is produced by this Python code. Not only the beginners, but also the sophisticated users are going to use this language. Why this Python has been made so? Because of its ease of use, or because of its very supportive or flexible nature, has made it as an essential tool for those who work with machine learning, even cloud computing, and also big data. And Python is particularly effective for analyzing and organizing data sets. Moving to the sixth characteristics of Python is it is efficient, fast, and reliable. Python is efficient in sense it uses a less memory and have a fast performance, and even reliable. Why? Because it always gives an accurate solutions, allowing the developers to create a powerful applications with a minimum of efforts. Why? Because as we said earlier, it has a many libraries and packages available. Completing coding projects is easy rather than time consuming, and the results are able to stand toe to toe with applications created using more demanding languages. And moving to the seventh characteristic of Python is it is widely used with IoT technology, that is Internet of Things. As we all know that nowadays small or internet connected devices often allows users to make small adjustments to their codes, and customizing their performance to fit specific needs. Many of these devices support either Python or MicroPython. As we all know that MicroPython is a scaled down version of the programming language designed for simpler devices. As more and more devices become internet connected, users are discovering that the working and understanding of Python may be essential in fully utilizing the ever expanding IoT. And moving to the eighth characteristic of Python is Python empowers custom automation. So, programming complex technologies generally require writing a significant amount of code. Python provides the tools and modules to help automate the repetitive and time consuming tasks so that the developer can focus completely on some solving the important issues. Extended by its library of plugins, Python has become an automation standard across industries even. So these are all the characteristics of Python which made it as an important language for data science. Thank you for watching this video.